So, hello gamers, hello inters, and welcome back to another Legends of Runeterra video. Today, we are finally going to be talking about the latest rotation that came in patch 5.10, and it is an interesting rotation. The last rotation seemed to be really, like, they brought some cards back with, like, not a lot of them, like, that you would think would cause an issue. Like, they brought Ziggs back, so, like, Ziggs Poppy was a thing, and you're like, ooh, okay. Fiora came back, and it was like, ooh, okay. But apart from that, there wasn't much. However, they seem to have flipped the switch. They have brought in some cards which have been extremely problematic in the past. So, it's going to be very interesting to see where we go with this rotation. Off the bat, obviously I have seen it, and we're going to go through the specific card choices that have been rotated, and then look what's been brought back so that we can use, see what we can use in this recent patch. And yeah, so let's just jump in, and then we'll discuss everything. So let's talk about what's leaving first, and then we'll talk about what's coming in afterwards. So, there was one thing that wasn't mentioned in the patch notes, was that Poppy would be rotated out. This was not included in the patch notes. I assume there was two versions of Taric, which is quite funny, because Taric was over here in the rotated in, and then Poppy wasn't included for the rotating out. So, there's only two small changes. Apart from that, there wasn't any other mistakes. Last time we had a whole ass Nico that got rotated when she wasn't supposed to. But she got brought back for like 2 months and then she's gone again now. So yeah, Ashe, a staple of Freljord, was very surprised to see her get rotated. I thought Ashe was going to be the ones that were quite happy with where she is. So very interesting to see what's going to happen with like Freljord mid-range now. We'll talk about who gets brought back in. Actually, do we do this? Yeah, well, what we'll do, we'll talk about what gets rotated out, and then in that same region, we'll talk about what's coming in. So, Ashe is rotated out, with Sejuani and Trundle coming back in. Now, Trundle, very good with the KDA card. I can't think of it off the top of my head. Summons 2 10-10s of your champions. However, the other version that was good was with Set. However, Set is being rotated out. So we can kind of like bounce between the Feel the Rush. That is the card name. Thank you. Yeah, Trundle's getting rotated out. That's right. Set is being rotated out and Trundle's coming back in. So yeah, for Freljord, like you get Trundle back, which is an extremely powerful card. Sejuani is coming back in. And Gangplank is staying in standard, so Sejuani Gangplank is coming back. Interesting it's going to be to see if GP Sejuani is going to be standard legal, because that's a very strong deck, very fast. And then if they have the Udyr chance spell, Unleash Spirits, you're kind of get run over. But yeah, Freljord probably in a good position right now. Caitlyn gets taken out of Piltover and Zorn. So does Teemo. So the Trap archetype has been rotated out, which I'm glad to see because it was very common just in the meta, and it is annoying to deal with. Like, if they're doing it, if you're going against it every game, obviously you're going to get bored of it, especially with how it can high roll, and sometimes it's just turn 6, they play Karina and you lose the game. But I don't think that people that play P&Z don't matter that much, because the Devil has returned. A card that I genuinely thought would never enter standard again has entered standard. So I guess we're building decks to counter Ezreal, because there is no way that people aren't going to be playing him. And it's crazy to see that he's came back, if I'm being honest. Then Fiora is going, thank God. And I didn't mind playing Fiora, but it was like Fiora Taric. And it was like, I'm having 3 Taric, 3 Fiora, and if I draw her, I'll try and protect her. Sure. I hated playing against people that played it all in Fiora. Super annoying to deal with. And yeah, well, we don't have to play against that in a standard anymore. Jarvan's coming back, but Garen is still rotated. And Lux is coming back. So funny thing, you can do double Lux deck. I don't think it's gonna be good, but you can do it. Jarvan comes back as just a good 6-mana mid-range card. He was like, people figured he was good when we were playing with the Warden meta. So yeah, interesting there. Gnar gets taken out, which means Darius Gnar is no longer a deck that you can play. But apart from that, like, you got other cards that are coming in. He's also a Freljord, I forgot to mention him there. So, is it a nerf to that deck? Yes. But you get cards like Draven back in that deck specifically. So, I mean, you're probably happy with that. Now, the one thing that I was annoyed about was that I saw these two coming back in. Pyke and Rek'Sai. So, Lurk is back. And the one deck that I genuinely enjoy playing that is Lurk is Pyke Gwen. That deck is hilarious. So much fun. And I can't even play it. I was like, Lurk is back. And I'm like, yes, I'm going to play Pyke. Well, no, I'm not happy that he's back. But yes, I can play Pyke and Gwen again. And then I saw that Gwen got rotated. And I was genuinely upset. So I guess I won't be doing that. I'll just be playing the Ripper's Bay Pyke with another region. And we'll see what we can do there. Jack. Pretty sad. I really enjoyed Jack. He was like becoming one of my favourite champions. So it is sad to see him go. For Bilgewater, they get Pyke and Fizz, which is Fizz is annoying, but then you realise that Yumi comes, and then you just realise that what happened last time that those two were there. So I'm not the fondest of Fizz coming back if you get this little rat as well. Jack's leaving. I'm not that bothered. He was pretty like, you had Jack's Ornn, but like, I'm fairly sure Ornn was rotated last patch, so like, Jack's wasn't doing anything. So, Same thing with Malphite. Like, Malphite had one deck, I think, and not a lot of people were playing it, so like, it's not the end of the world to see. Rest in piss for Captain Sarah, who lost her Misfortune, followed up by her Nico. And we, yeah. I mean, Misfortune wasn't really doing anything, if we're being honest. Like, there was some aggro decks, and yeah, I don't think they were going to do great. Nico, I thought Nico was okay. I mean, they probably just rotated Nico because her package is just, like, insane. Like, Saurian is just, if Nico's in, Saurian is in, and you're probably going to do quite well. Nidalee, a pretty underplayed champion, but I think was, like, actually quite good. Like, if I had to rank Nidalee, I'd probably say she's a solid A. Like, S tier, A tier. I think she's just a good A tier champion. Not overpowered, but, like, she's just good. For Shurima, they lose Nidalee, and they're getting back... Who's Shuriman here? Rek'Sai and Renekton. So, like, Sundisk, which is funny because Sundisk never had an Ascended champion last patch, even though it was still in the game. So, like, you could mono Renekton Sundisk now, which is a thing. Sure. Poro King, sure. You saw it a few times, but wasn't that important. It was powerful if you got like a slow deck, but you had to really hope that you met a slow opponent. Poppy came in at last minute, or I assume was last minute because Taric was in the patch notes and Poppy wasn't, as I said before. So Poppy got rotated, which is pretty sad because Poppy worked with Lux, worked with Taric, but like they just rotated out this package, which is like okay, and that's like Demacia Bundle. So like Bundle, Demacia. I think it's a pretty big hit for that region for like Bundle City Swarm kind of stuff, Demacia Swarm. So yeah, Samira. I mean, Samira hasn't really seen any play since her nerf, which was like she was broken. They nerfed her. They buffed her again to like kind of make her semi-playable, but still didn't really see anything. So Noxus is getting Draven instead, which is like the best, like one of the best cards ever printed. So like the upgrade from this to this is insane, and then you realize that they also brought back Rumble, and it's like, oh dear God, that is terrifying. So yeah, we don't have to deal with that anymore. And so, speaking of Rumble, we're just gonna jump straight over to here. Rumble, Vayne, Vayne has been rotated, so we won't be having any Rumble Vaynes, but Rumble might still be an issue with some Demacia decks if they kept in Cataclysm, which we will find out if they did. Set, probably one of the strongest cards that they've ever printed, and yeah, they've just rotated him, so it's like Set and other people. Yo, what? Thank you for the raid. We're just going through the rotation of the champions before we look at the card, but thank you very much for the raid. Yeah, Set being rotated. I mean, he was very strong, probably one of the strongest cards in Ionia, if we're being honest. But yeah, he's being rotated, followed up by Shen. And Shen, very powerful if you run the 2-mana card. If you don't have the 2-mana card, you're not really doing much with Shen. So, like, Ionia lose these two, and they get... Who do they get? Who's Ionian here? Zed? And... Is it just Zed? Okay, interesting. Yeah. I mean, these two for Zed just isn't a worth trade, so Ionia gets a massive downgrade with champions. Swain is going. And, I mean, we've talked about it here with Samira. So they lose Samira and Swain, and they're getting Draven and Rumble back. Like, Swain wasn't doing anything in the meta. People tried to cook, and it wasn't doing anything. But, like, Draven and Rumble, they're gonna cook. They're, like... Noxus is eating well this patch. Going back onto Shurima, we've talked about what Shurima's getting. Talia? Talia had the... Oh, Talia actually counts as that 6-mana deck, right? Okay, that's a big nerf for the Ziggs Talia deck. Was it Zillion Talia? But he also had Zillion sometimes. So, bit of a downgrade for Shurima there, if we're being honest. But like, they get Lurk, so like Lurk players can come back, and you know, we all know what Lurk players are like. They're like brain dead, just attack, play unit, attack. Taric is going for Targon, with Malphite being the other Targon one. So Targon gets Yuumi, and they get Pantheon. So like Pantheon Yuumi, which was mentioned in the chat a second ago. That's what's coming back. Pantheon Varus is like one of my favorite decks. I just love the reroll and the buffing up and everything, and like just holding onto a spell just enough where you can like trigger Varus, and like he goes from being no threat to like maybe sometimes ending the game. Very fun. So I'm looking forward to playing some more Targon with those two. Teemo, we spoke about Teemo very briefly, the fact that Caitlyn's been gone. I was surprised that they did this. I'm more surprised that they rotate Caitlyn before Arcane, if I'm going to be honest. But, hey. Thresh is... I don't think anyone played Thresh. Thresh is just really bad as a champion at the moment. Like, he's hard to level, and... yeah, he's just not good. So, whatever. And then Vayne is... Vayne. Vayne gets rotated out. If we want to connect it to anyone, we can talk to like Aatrox, because like Vayne Aatrox was Vayne Quinn Aatrox was the deck. You ran 2 Aatrox, 1 Quinn on 3 Vayne. So they're kind of like predicting that could have been a deck. So yeah, they'll be rotating that out. Making a healthier meta is greater than creating. I mean, yeah. I think, you know, if it was me, I would have made the choice to keep Caitlyn in. But, yeah. So we go over here. Aatrox Kayn. I'm probably going to be playing this very, very early on, because this is, like, another deck that I really enjoy. Draven is broken for Noxus. Elise comes back for Shadow Isles, which is huge. Oh, yeah, we also talked about Vayne Rumble. We spoke about that when we talked about Rumble, but, yeah, you can't do Vayne Rumble. Elise is, like, one of the strongest cards in the game. Like, literally, these 3 here, coming back as one, in, like, one patch, is crazy. Fizz comes back with Yuumi, so that's the deck. Jarvan is Kayn is like Aatrox. Kindred is a very strong removal champion, and if you can't remove the Kindred, you'll most likely just lose the game on the spot. Lux is meh, because there's no Jace. So you can do like Lux Heimerdinger maybe. Pantheon goes with Varus, Lurk, on his own. Rumble with discard. Rise is just going to be doing Rise stuff, so like whenever you introduce him, he's just going to do his own thing. Sejuani GP, Trundle, Feel the Rush with whoever. Yuumi with Fizz and just elusives in general. I mean, they rotated Teemo, right? So it's like no Yuumi Teemo. And then Zed is going to be... Well, Hallowed got rotated. So it's like Zed, Shadow Isle, Swarm. I don't know if that's going to be a thing anymore, but like... It's an option. But yeah, like, if we just like look at all of the cards that got rotated, which, by the way, LOR report, there's a new page. If you click rotation at the top, you'll be able to see all the cards that got rotated. It's like Ash goes, Saurian gets taken out because of Nico. I'm just gonna like talk about cards that basically get played in the meta. I was gonna say Poro Snacks, but Yeti is going. That didn't survive long. So Yeti's going, and She Who Wanders, I guess, is important. And just main deck Flash Freeze. Okay, interesting. For this, Fire Spitter. And the fact that he was nerfed, Elder Dragon got rotated, he got unnerfed, and then the rotation after he gets taken out is yeah, that's a hit for that. Just seeing if there's anything else really we want to talk about here. I don't think so. Everything is like kind of specifically for these decks. We've already talked about Noxus is happier with the champions it brings in rather than all of these cards. I guess Blighted Battle Axe is big because it hits that Darius deck that is going to still be existing. Okay, some big changes here. So, Vayne and Fiora are big. Drake going is huge. Combat Cook is huge. Blinding Assault, I guess, is pretty big. Chain Vest, so there's no 1 mana, like, tough. You can't generate that anymore. Cythria's going is Apart from that, Elkin. Which one's Elkin again? Oh, Steadfast Elkin. I mean, it's a Vayne card, right? It's gonna get rotated. So like they lose theirs. High Show has been taken out. Old Timer is going because they're introducing. Well, they're getting rid of sets, but this is mainly for Trundle. Like this is a Trundle card. Even though it's a set card, it's a Trundle card. Just seeing if there's anything else. Tag Out is pretty huge that they're losing. They're losing Nopify. Place Your Bets is a huge one. They're losing Healing with the Smooth. Windsinger's just really good for like stalling the game out. Okay, Ionia got hit hard. Ionia is just not a region anymore. We're gonna have to see what got rotated specifically in for that. Okay. Hexcore gets taken out. Bakali Bar gets taken out. Drum Solo's gone. Song Spinner's gone. Okay, interesting. I mean, Ezreal... This with Ezreal is just a problem, so I'm glad that this is gone, I guess. And then all of the shrooms. All the Jack cards, which I'm sad to see go. And then Misfortune cards, I assume. Just, like, support cards. Swindler's Den that never got saw play. Traps are gone, finally. Yeah, I guess there is no traps in Standard. Yeah, I guess you're right there. Shurima. So all the transform cards, Rite of Passages. Oh shit, that's huge, because they kept the 6-mana mark in. So there's no Talia, no Rite of Passage. Okay, that's pretty big. That is actually, like, these 2 cards, plus this going. I'm glad they're gone. I like that. No Shape Stone, interesting. Apart from that, everything else is kind of mid. Bloodletters is going? Okay, I'm gonna check, because there is... I feel like that's an error. There is no way... Blood... Oh my god. So they brought back Aatrox, and they don't have Bloodletters. Wow. That is kind of big. That is kind of huge, actually. Huh. That's an interesting one. They killed Zalani. They beat her. She's not coming back. Targon. So, like, cards that we care about. I literally just skipped the region. Like, maybe Bastion? everything else is just like very specific. Either Taric support, which we knew they were gonna get taken. At least we have Big Zalani. I mean, we'll see what gets brought back, right? Okay. So Shadow Isles is gonna probably... They lost Eristin. Huge. This gets taken. Good. This gets taken. Good. This gets taken, I guess. That's alright. Like, their early game seems to be a lot worse now. So we'll have to see what gets brought back. Vandal City loses. These two. The trap card. Group shot's gone. Shares is going, but Yumi's coming back. So that's interesting. That's actually relevant. Minity's going. Goodbye. Trap card. Yodel Captain. Okay. Knack attack because of transform. Okay. There's a couple of stuff. Yo, hey, Remni. And then, yeah, these champions. So, out of the stuff that got, like, if we really want to talk about, like, what regions got hit, Ionia has been killed. Vandal lost its deny. To be fair, I would say that's important, but I don't think it is. I don't think many Bandle decks actually ran it, because the Bandle decks that were being played were fast ones, so I don't think you really cared about a deny. But yeah, I think the region that came out the best, Ionia got killed. Demacia still has quite a lot of stuff. I mean, I've seen what Demacia has been brought back. So yeah, let's just have a look at what is being added to the region. So It That Stares is back, terrifying. Troll Chant is back, terrifying. Trundle is back, terrifying. Three Sisters is back, terrifying. Ramp, terrifying. Like, all of this region is just like, I am scared. Noxus, Draven comes back. There's a Rumble as well. Rumble's not here. He needs to go here. Iron Ballista's good. House Spider's good. Draven's biggest fan's good for Draven, obviously. Whirling Death comes back. That's huge. Pretty good for Noxus. Okay, let's just talk about a few cards. This card being back is huge. 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 Like, all of these other cards are like fillers, but like, 1 good card, 2 good card, 3 good card, 4 good cards. That are like staple cards. Like, this alone is just insane. This card was like the card to run as your 2-drop. Also, Ranger Knight Defect is back. Let's not gloss over this card. This card, pretty good. So Demacia eating well, let's just say. Ionia, what did you get back? You got Zed. You got Singular Will. You got Concussive Palm. You got Deep Med. You got Green Glade. Okay. You got some good cards. But, like, I don't think it's good enough. We'll have to see what each region has left in a second. But, like, yeah. Oh, yeah. Rise cards. So, Palm is a big deal. Palm is a big deal, but, like, from seeing what they've lost, it's still a rough region. Oh, mamma mia. Mamma mia, what is going on? Right, 1 good card, 2 good card, 3 good card. Technically, 4 good card, 5 good card, 6 good card, 7 good card. They got 7 good cards. And some of these aren't even bad. Like, this coming back isn't bad. This is pretty good for the Varus deck. But, like, it's a Varus deck card. So, like, and Temple's still in. So, like, actually, yeah, if Temple's still in, then this is good. Like, this region, eating well. Probably the region that is eating the most well. I mean, just this, right? Like, Jinx is still in Standard. So, like, this coming back is just, like, it's just a Jinx. It's Jinx meta. Okay, let's do some talking. Let's have a chat, right? This is insane. I mean, all of Lurk coming back is crazy. This is a Nami card. Like, they just brought back Nami support. Like, hello? Like, why is Burblefish here? Like, come on. What? Shelly's back. Burblefish is back. The Nami cards are back. Maybe it's a Nami meta. Who knows? Sharima. Echo was in standard, right? And he didn't get rotated. So this is Echo Jinx. Martial arts in like every card is broken. So there was a reason why we rotated cards. It's because they were broken and they just were better than every other card. So when you see them come back, you're like, huh, interesting. Like, this card, very good. This card literally makes a deck work. I mean, this being back just means that there's an actual deck being played. Also, we get Rune Runner back. So, it's something. Okay. Targon gets Spell Shield for 2 mana, Tailstones, which is really good. Pantheon, Zalani comes back. Tahm Kench support, Soraka support. And just Pantheon support. So, like, Targon's not doing too bad. Targon, and it's got all the Yuumi card. It's got Yuumi as well here. So, like, Yuumi, Rumble. They get Pytos back. They get Bandle Tree back. They get Aloof Travelers. We have Mordekaiser in standard, guys. Why is this card here? This card was not okay, but like Papercraft Dragon's here. Quick Quill is here. Rainbow Fish is here. Like, there's certain cards that got rotated for a reason, and for some reason, they're bringing cards back without rotating the other half. Like, I don't mind hey, we rotated Papercraft Dragon because Rune Runner is in, so we're going to rotate the Papercraft, and then next time we'll, like, flip it around. So, yeah, not a fan with some of these changes, if I'm going to be honest. It means we can cook, but, like, it's gonna be a little annoying. Like, Papercraft Renekton, yeah. Like, you got the point. Like, Elise is back, Kindred's back, Tailstones is back, Wings in the Wave is back. Hello? Like, this card is really good in Mordekaiser decks. Vile Feast, literally maybe one of the strongest 2-mana spells in the game, back. Withering Whale's back, Skitter's back for, like, spider decks. Like, yeah. It's going to be an interesting one. I'm going to be honest, I do not think, yeah, Undying, good for just the Unliving decks. I will be honest, this does not bring me joy. Nothing here brings me joy. And it's going to be my place to try and find the gold within the mounting of shit that Riot has provided us with here. Like, straight away, I'm looking at, like, Trundle is back, which I'm not happy with. Lurk is back, I'm not happy with. These three in, like, this row here is a dangerous row. So, yeah, we're gonna try and cook. So, we're gonna go and jump into some games on stream. So for those YouTube folks, we're gonna end the video here. So make sure you like and subscribe if you want to see some more Legends of Runeterra PvP gameplay, because I know I've been doing some fiddle gameplay recently. But yeah, we're gonna be focusing a bit on PvP for a bit, because for those that don't know, where the LR Report, so me, are hosting a monthly tournament now with in partnership with Aegis and Riot. Well, specifically like Play Runeterra, but yeah, we're going to be doing $100 tournaments, and there's 5,000 coins as well. So it's like they're starting to fund some stuff again for competitive, which is listen, we'll take whatever we can get and we can build upon it. And yeah, so that tournament is going to be on Sunday the 27th. Let me check the calendar. Yes, Sunday the 27th of October. So check the LR Report Twitter if you want to follow up more for those details. But until then, yes, we're gonna play some PvP and see what's doing good. So yeah, we'll see you for the next video, which we're gonna go and play some games now. Bye bye.